Life is a magnificent journey, is not it? A journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and moments that shape who we are. But here is the thing. It is your journey, your life, your story. And today I want to talk to you about something crucial, something that can change everything. Taking it personal. When I say take it personal, I do not mean getting offended or holding grudges. No, I am talking about something far more powerful. I am talking about owning your life, every single aspect of it. I am talking about making your existence so personally yours that it becomes your masterpiece. You see, we live in a world that often tries to convince us that we are just small cogs in a big machine, that our individual actions do not matter much in the grand scheme of things. But let me tell you something, that's a lie. A big fat lie that keeps us from reaching our true potential. Every single one of you listening right now is a universe unto yourself. You are a collection of thoughts, experiences, dreams, and potential that has never existed before and will never exist again. You are unique, and that uniqueness is your superpower. When I say take it personal, I mean embrace that uniqueness. Own it. Celebrate it. Use it to create a life that's truly yours. Think about it for a moment. How often do we go through life on autopilot? How often do we make decisions based on what others expect of us rather than what we truly want? How often do we let our dreams slip away because we are too afraid to claim them as our own? It is time to change that. It is time to take it personal. Taking it personal means waking up each morning and consciously choosing to be the author of your own story. It means looking at your life not as something that happens to you, but as something you create with every choice, every action, every thought. When you take your life personally, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making things happen. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are in a job you do not like. Most people would complain about it, feel stuck, and wait for something to change. But when you take it personal, you realize that your career is not something separate from you. What kind of work would truly fulfill me? What unique skills and passions do I have that I'm not using? How can I create a career that aligns with my values and brings me joy? And then this is the crucial part. You take action. You start learning new skills, networking, exploring opportunities. You do not wait for the perfect job to fall into your lap. You go out and create it. Because you've taken your career personally. You've made it your responsibility to make it amazing. The same goes for your relationships. When you take them personal, you stop playing the blame game. You realize that the quality of your relationships is a direct reflection of the energy you put into them. So you start showing up fully. You listen more deeply, love more openly, communicate more honestly. You take responsibility for your part in every interaction. And you know what happens when you do this? Your relationships transform. They become deeper, more authentic, more fulfilling because you are no longer a passive participant. You are actively co-creating beautiful connections with the people in your life. Talk about your health. How many of us treat our bodies like rental cars, thinking we can abuse them and someone else will deal with the consequences? But when you take your health personal, everything changes. You start seeing your body as the incredible, miraculous vessel that it is. You nourish it with good food. You move it in ways that feel good. You rest it when it needs rest. You listen to its whispers before they become screams. Taking your health personal means realizing that every choice you make, what you eat, how you move, how you think, is shaping your physical reality. It is about treating your body with the love and respect it deserves, not out of obligation, but out of a deep personal commitment to living in vibrant health. And what about your mind? Oh, the mind, that incredible tool that can be our best friend or our worst enemy. When you take your thoughts personal, you become the master of your mental world. You stop being a victim to negative thinking patterns. You realize that your thoughts are not facts. They are choices. And you have the power to choose thoughts that serve you, that uplift you, that move you in the direction of your dreams. Taking your mind personal means becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself. Are they stories of limitation or possibility? Of fear or courage? Of lack or abundance? When you take it personal, you actively choose to cultivate thoughts that empower you. You become the gardener of your mind, planting seeds of positivity and nurturing them into beautiful, life-affirming beliefs. I can almost hear some of you thinking, but what about the things we cannot control? What about the challenges and setbacks that life throws our way? My friends, this is where taking it personal becomes truly transformative. You see, we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. When you take your life personal, you take ownership of your reaction. You see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Let me share a personal story with you. Years ago, I faced a health crisis that could have derailed my entire life. I could have seen myself as a victim of bad luck or unfair circumstances, but I chose to take it personal. I saw this challenge as an opportunity to deepen my understanding of health, to strengthen my spirit, to inspire others who might be going through similar struggles. By taking it personal, I turned a potential tragedy into a powerful catalyst for growth and positive change. And you can do the same with every challenge you face, whether it is a job loss, a relationship breakdown, a financial setback. When you take it personal, you take back your power. You ask yourself, how can I use this experience to become stronger, wiser? This shift in perspective changes everything. It turns problems into possibilities, obstacles into stepping stones. When you take life's challenges personal, you become unstoppable because you are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You are in charge of your own growth and evolution. Talk about dreams. We all have them, do not we? Those whispers of the heart that tell us what we are truly capable of. But how many of us push those dreams aside, thinking they are too big, too unrealistic, too personal? My friends, it is time to take your dreams personal, to claim them as your own, to stop waiting for permission or the perfect circumstances to pursue them. Your dreams are not random thoughts floating through your mind. They are seeds of your potential planted in your heart for a reason. When you take your dreams personal, you start nurturing them. You give them your time, your energy, your focus. You start taking small steps every day towards making them a reality. And here's the beautiful thing. As you do this, you start to realize that the journey towards your dreams is just as rewarding as achieving them. Because in pursuing your dreams, you become the person capable of achieving them. Taking your dreams personal means having the courage to declare them to the world, to say, this is what I want to create, this is who I want to become. It means being willing to fail, to look foolish, to step out of your comfort zone, because you understand that your dreams are not separate from you. They are an essential part of who you are. And let's not forget about your impact on the world. In this vast, interconnected web of life, every action we take creates ripples. When you take your life personal, you become aware of these ripples. You realize that your choices, your words, your energy affect not just you, but everyone and everything around you. What impact do I want to have? How can I use my unique gifts to make the world a little bit better? You stop waiting for someone else to solve the problems you see. You roll up your sleeves and become part of the solution. Taking your impact personal might mean volunteering in your community, starting a business that solves a problem, or simply being a source of kindness and compassion in your daily interactions. It means recognizing that you have the power to make a difference, and then using that power consciously and purposefully. I want to address something important. Taking life personal does not mean being selfish or self-centered. In fact, it is quite the opposite. When you truly take your life personal, you naturally become more connected to others because you realize that your well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of those around you. You see, when you are fully owning your life, you are not operating from a place of lack or fear. You are coming from a place of fullness, of abundance, and from that place, it becomes natural to give, to serve, to lift others up. You understand that by helping others shine, you shine even brighter. Taking it personal also means taking responsibility for your happiness. So many of us make the mistake of outsourcing our happiness. We think it is the job of our partner, our boss, our friends to make us happy. But when you take your happiness personal, You realize that it is an inside job. You start cultivating joy from within. You find reasons to be grateful even on the toughest days. You create rituals and practices that nourish your soul. You surround yourself with people and experiences that light you up. And you know what? When you take your happiness personal, you become a source of joy for others. Your positive energy becomes contagious. Talk about time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we use those hours varies dramatically. When you take your time personal, you start treating it as the precious, non-renewable resource that it is. You become intentional about how you spend your days. Taking your time personal means aligning your schedule with your priorities. It means saying no to things that do not serve your highest good and saying yes to experiences that help you grow and thrive. It means being fully present in each moment rather than constantly living in the past or future. When you take your time personal, you stop watching life pass you by. You become an active participant in every moment. You savor the simple pleasures, a beautiful sunset, a heartfelt conversation, the taste of your favorite meal. You understand that life is happening right now, and you choose to show up for it fully. Not forget about your creativity. Every single one of you has a wellspring of creativity within you. It does not matter if you are an artist, a business person, a scientist, or a homemaker, creativity is your birthright. When you take your creativity personal, you start expressing yourself in unique ways. You stop comparing your creative expression to others. You realize that your creativity is as unique as your fingerprint. So you start exploring, experimenting, playing. You give yourself permission to create without judgment, to make mistakes, to discover new aspects of yourself through your creative endeavors. Taking your creativity personal might mean writing that book you've always dreamed of, starting that podcast, planting a garden, or coming up with innovative solutions in your workplace. It means recognizing that you have something unique to offer the world and then offering it wholeheartedly. Fear we all face it, do not we? Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. But when you take your life personal, you develop a new relationship with fear. You see it not as something to be avoided, but as a signpost pointing towards growth. Taking your fear personal means getting curious about it. Instead of letting it paralyze you, you ask, what is this fear trying to teach me? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? You use your fear as fuel to propel you forward rather than letting it hold you back. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is feeling the fear and taking action anyway. When you take your life personal, you become the hero of your own story. You face your fears head on, knowing that on the other side of them lies your growth, your dreams, your fullest self. Talk about love. Not just romantic love, but love in all its forms, self-love, love for humanity, love for life itself. When you take love personal, you stop waiting for it to come to you. You become a generator of love. You start with self-love, treating yourself with kindness and compassion. You forgive yourself for past mistakes, knowing they were necessary for your growth. You speak to yourself with the same love and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. And from this place of self-love, you're able to love others more fully. You stop trying to change people or make them fit your expectations. Instead, you love them for who they are while still maintaining healthy boundaries. You become more patient, more understanding, more compassionate. Taking love personal means choosing love, even when it is difficult. It means seeing the humanity in everyone you meet. It means being a force of love in a world that often feels lacking in it. A crucial aspect of taking life personal, your spiritual growth. Regardless of your religious beliefs or lack thereof, we all have a spiritual dimension. It is that part of us that seeks meaning, that yearns for connection to something greater than ourselves. When you take your spiritual growth personal, you embark on a journey of self-discovery. You start asking the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? You explore different philosophies, practices, and teachings, not to answer, but to deepen your understanding of yourself and your place in the universe. Taking your spiritual growth personal might mean developing a meditation practice, spending time in nature, engaging in acts of service, or exploring sacred texts. It means cultivating a sense of awe and wonder at the mystery of life. It means developing a personal relationship with the divine, however you conceive it. You take your spiritual growth personal, you'll find that it infuses every other aspect of your life with depth and meaning. Your relationships become more authentic, your work becomes more purposeful, your challenges become opportunities for spiritual. I want to address something that might be coming up for some of you. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but it also sounds exhausting. Do I really have to take everything so seriously? And to that, I say taking life personal does not mean being serious all the time. In fact, it means the opposite. When you truly take your life personal, you give yourself permission to play, to be silly, to laugh at yourself. You understand that joy and lightness are essential parts of a well-lived life. Taking it personal means embracing all of life. The serious and the playful, the profound and the mundane, the challenging and the easy. It means showing up fully for all of it, bringing your whole self to every moment. We near the end of our time together. I want to leave you with this thought. Taking your life personal is the greatest gift you can give yourself and the world. Because when you fully own your life, when you take responsibility for your growth, your happiness, your impact, you become a beacon of possibility for others. You show the world what's possible when one person decides to live with intention, with passion, with purpose. You become a living example of the incredible potential that lies within each of us. I invite you right here, right now, to make a decision. Decide to take it personal. Decide to stop sleepwalking through life and to start living with full awareness and intention. Decide to own your power, your dreams, your impact. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you'll want to shrink back, to play small, to let life happen to you. But in those moments, remember this: you are the author of your story. You are the creator of your reality. You have within you everything you need to create a life of meaning, purpose, and joy. Take it personal. Take your life, your dreams, your growth, your impact. Take it all personal. Because when you do, you'll discover that life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. And with that realization, you'll step into the fullness of who you truly are. Go forth, my friends. Take it personal. And watch as your life transforms into the masterpiece it was always meant to be. The world is waiting for your unique gift, your unique light. It is time to shine. What it means to take your life personal. Think about your education. Not just formal schooling, but the lifelong journey of learning and growth. When you take your education personal, you become a passionate, lifelong learner. You stop seeing learning as something you have to do and start seeing it as something you get to do. Taking your education personal means becoming curious about everything. You ask questions, you explore, you experiment. You do not wait for someone to teach you. You actively seek out knowledge. You read books, watch documentaries, engage in meaningful conversations. You become a sponge, soaking up wisdom from every experience, every person you meet. And here's the beautiful thing about taking your education personal. It never stops. There's always more to learn, more to discover. You start to see the whole world as your classroom. A setback becomes a lesson in resilience. A success becomes a study in what works. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to understand human nature a little better. Consider your habits. We often think of habits as small, insignificant things. But when you take your habits personal, you realize that they are the building blocks of your life. Your habits shape your days, and your days shape your life. Taking your habits personal means becoming aware of the unconscious patterns that drive your behavior. You start to ask yourself, are my habits serving me? Are they moving me towards the life I want to create? If not, you have the power to change them. Remember, habits are not formed overnight, and they're not changed overnight either. It takes patience, persistence, and self-compassion. But when you take your habits personal, you commit to this process of gradual, consistent. You celebrate small victories. You learn from setbacks. You keep showing up day after day until new, empowering habits become second nature. Talk about your words. The language you use, both when talking to others and when talking to yourself, has immense power. When you take your words personal, you become mindful of this power. You choose your words with intention, understanding that they have the ability to heal or hurt, to inspire or discourage, to create or destroy. Taking your words personal means becoming aware of your self-talk. Are you kind to yourself and your thoughts? Do you speak to yourself with encouragement and compassion or with criticism and judgment? When you take your words personal, you commit to being your own best friend, your own cheerleader. It also means being mindful of how you speak to and about others. You realize that your words can lift people up or tear them down. So you choose to use your words to spread kindness, to offer support, to express gratitude. You become someone who speaks life into others, who uses words to create positive change in the world. Consider your failures. Yes, your failures. In a world that often celebrates only success, taking your failures personal might seem counterintuitive. But hear me out. When you take your failures personal, you stop seeing them as endpoints and start seeing them as stepping stones. Taking your failures personal means owning them fully. No excuses, no blame. You look at each failure and ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger, wiser, better? You understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a crucial part of success. When you take your failures personal, you develop resilience. You understand that falling down is inevitable, but staying down is a choice. You cultivate the courage to keep trying, to keep risking, to keep putting yourself out there. Because you know that each failure is bringing you one step closer to your dreams. Talk about your intuition, and we all have that inner voice, that gut feeling. But how often do we listen to it? When you take your intuition personal, you start to tune into this innate wisdom. You trust yourself more deeply. You honor your instincts. Taking your intuition personal does not mean ignoring logic or reason. It means integrating your rational mind with your inner knowing. It means pausing before making decisions to check in with yourself. Does this feel right? Am I being true to myself? You take your intuition personal. You'll find that life flows more easily. You make decisions that align with your true self. You navigate challenges with more grace. You become more authentic in your relationships because you are no longer just living from the neck up. You are living from a place of deep inner wisdom. Consider your possessions. In a world that often equates having more with being more, taking your possessions personal might seem strange. But it is not about having more or less. It is about being intentional with what you have and what you choose to bring into your life. When you take your possessions personal, you start to see them not just as things, but as energy. Everything you own takes up space. Not just physical space, but mental and emotional space too. So you become selective. You surround yourself with things that truly add value to your life, that bring you joy, that serve a purpose. Taking your possessions personal might mean decluttering, letting go of things that no longer serve you. It might mean choosing quality over quantity. It might mean being more mindful of your consumption habits. But ultimately, it means creating a physical environment that supports the life you want to live. Talk about your legacy. It might seem premature to think about legacy if you were young or too late if you're older. But when you take your legacy personal, you realize that you are creating it every single day with every choice you make. What do I want to be remembered for? What mark do I want to leave on the world? It is not about fame or recognition. It is about impact. It is about living in a way that makes the world a little bit better because you were here. Your legacy might be the children you raise, the art you create, the people you mentor, the kindness you show to strangers. It might be big or small, public or private. But when you take your legacy personal, you live with intention. You make choices not just for the moment, but for the long-term impact they'll have. We wrap up our extended time together. I want to remind you of something crucial. Taking life personal, in all these ways we've discussed and more, is not a destination. It is a journey. It is a daily choice, a moment-by-moment commitment to living fully, authentically, purposefully. There will be days when it feels easy, when everything flows, when you feel completely aligned with your highest self. Celebrate those days. And there will be days when it feels hard, when you struggle, when you fall short of your own expectations. Honor those days too. They are all part of the journey. Remember, taking life personal is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about showing up again and again with an open heart and a willingness to grow. It is about embracing all of life, the joys and the sorrows, the victories and the setbacks, the clarity and the confusion. My friends, as you go forth from here, I invite you to take it all personal. Your thoughts, your actions, your relationships, your dreams, your failures, your growth, all of it. Embrace it all as part of your unique journey, because when you do, you step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. And in doing so, you give the rest of us permission to do the same. For your presence, your attention, and your commitment to living a life that is truly, personally yours. Now go out there and shine your light.